over unclean spirits, the Bible records they had a problem with their faith.
Yes.
How many of us in here this morning would openly admit to having a faith problem? How many of us would honestly take a look at the man in the mirror and then admit that I don't trust God like God wants me to trust him? Because that's all we're talking about. We're talking about having faith. We're talking about believing in the power of God. We're talking about trusting in God's ability to help me overcome my problem. We're talking about having confidence in God's ability to steal me in the midst of my storms. We're talking about God's ability to help me do everything but fail. But how many of us often say, I trust God, but we live like we don't know God? How many of us this morning honestly admit that we have a faith problem? Some of us who are honest will openly admit that, yes, I know I don't trust God like God wants me to. I know I'm guilty of going against Hebrews 11:6, which says that without faith it is impossible for me to please God. Because, see, when I come to God, I first of all have to believe that he is. I have to believe that he is. What is he? He's everything I need him to be. God is my answer to all of my problems. God is my solution to every situation. And so the Hebrew writer said, when you come to him, you must believe that he is.
Yes, sir.
And then that he is a rewarder.
Yes.
Y'all getting this? Of them that diligently seek him. I can't come to God on an as-needed basis.
Right, sir.
Because I need him all the time. When I treat God like a 911 emergency call, God is not pleased. God doesn't just want me calling on him when the bottom falls out. God wants me to call him when I'm looking at the bottom coming down. And thank him for where I am. Thank him for what he's given me. Thank him for where he's about to take me. I need to appreciate God in every aspect of my life. When you treat God like he's only a problem solver. When you come to God only when you need something from him, you have a faith problem. The thing about having a real faith problem is that many times having a faith problem is not easily detectable. And it's not because we're necessarily in denial. It's just not that easy to recognize when you have a problem with faith until that faith is put to the test. You know what I'm saying?
Right, sir.
Many of us don't know that we don't trust God like we think we trust God until God allows us to be in a position where we got to put up and show up, and we can't show up and we can't put up because we don't have what's in us what we thought was in us. Many of us have put our spiritual debit card in the ATM of faith at a time of crisis, and the slip came back marked insufficient funds. I didn't have in me what I thought was in me. And it was the same way with Jesus' disciples. They did not know that they didn't have the faith to cast this kind of devil out until they met this man who had a son who was possessed with the devil from the time that he was a child. There's some situations in life that you're going to deal with that's going to take every fiber of your faith in order to handle it. Did you notice if you read verse 21, we stopped at verse 20, but even in verse 21, Jesus gave his disciples the explanation. Now, this kind only goes out by fasting and prayer. I recognize, fellas, that you're not dealing with your ordinary demonic possession. I mean, they had seen people possessed with devils before. They had seen Jesus cast out devils before. It wasn't the fact that this boy was possessed with this devil, but it was the kind of devil that had taken possession of this boy. And all of the particulars are not given to us in the text, but even Jesus made mention of the fact that this was another kind of spirit, because he said, this kind.
Yeah.
What kind is that? The kind that makes you have to fast and pray to get rid of it. What kind of devil inhabits the body of a child? We've seen possessions in the Bible take place among adults. But what kind of devil would stoop to the level of trying to destroy a child, inhabit a helpless child, take the child and throw him in the water, take the child and throw him in fire? What kind of devil? He must be from the lowest pits of hell,
Right, sir.
to inhabit a child. Jesus recognized that this kind, you can only get rid of him through fasting and prayer. Brothers and sisters, that's some stuff that you're going to encounter in this life.
Yes.
It not only is it going to take your faith, it's going to take some fasting. It's going to take some praying along with your faith in order for you to get rid of it. Even in this situation, Jesus shows us that there are some things that we're going to come up against, and we better have it together if we plan on getting rid of it.
Yes,
What we don't understand about faith is the same as what the Lord's disciples didn't understand about faith. That is that only a growing faith can move a mountain.
right.
There is the kind of faith that will help you do anything but fail.
Right.
There is a faith that'll help you stop whatever you want to stop. There is a faith that will help you overcome whatever it is that you're facing. There is a faith that will help you fight any battle. There is a faith that will help you cross any river. There is a faith that will help you move a mountain. But Jesus says it's a growing faith.
Yes.
Let me show you this in verse number 20. Notice how Jesus compares the faith that his disciples should have had to that of a mustard seed. Notice Jesus says here in our text, after he informs them that it is because of their unbelief, he said, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall be removed. And Jesus says, and nothing.
Nothing, sir.
Y'all hear what Jesus said? Now when Jesus said, don't question what Jesus says. Jesus says, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you can make mountains move out of your way. First of all, I need you to understand that the Lord is not indicating that the size of their faith is inadequate, but it's the kind of faith that's lacking. He says, if ye have faith as, notice the comparison, as a grain of mustard seed. Because of the parable of the mustard seed, we automatically are programmed to think he's talking about the smallness of the size of it. But in this particular context, he's making a comparison with a mustard seed and wanting to teach us a very powerful example using not the size, but the seed itself. Right? Y'all with me? It's not the size that we're talking about here. It is not the quantity.
Right.
But it is the quality. Look with me at Luke chapter 17, because many of us think that we need more. You just need the right kind. Hello in here. Oh, bless you if you're listening. It's not that you don't have what you need. You just need to nurture what you have.